Hey guys, Darin Marques with Virtue Real Estate Group here. I am really excited to announce I'm here with my friend Chris Ward today. He is our sales manager here in the office and our team sales manager. And I'm really excited to announce of one of the upcoming power lunches that we're going to be doing with him. And we're going to be talking about leads, leverage, listings, and luxury. And Chris, I wanted to talk to you a little bit first. Let's talk about leads, man. People coming up with leads. I know one of the things you talked about before with lead security. Share with us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So the number one problem that I see that agents face in our market, especially when they're out on their own, they're not on a team, is lead security, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of just created this analogy as far as a big problem that's going on in the United States right now, which is food insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where my next meal is going to come from. And so I kind of related that to our business, where a lot of agents have no idea where their next lead, their next deal, their next client is going to come from. There's massive lead insecurity with most agents in Nevada and just the country in general. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to solve that problem, identifying that problem, of course, but what are you specifically doing to bring in enough leads into your business and do it repeatably and consistently?
Nice. And guys, just to give you a little background. So Chris is one of Tom Ferry's top coaches across the United States. You work with about 30 agents right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and on average, about 7.5 years with each agent that you've spent with them. So he's had a great amount of experience, not just here locally in the Valley, but across the United States, of getting to hear from agents what works for them, what doesn't work for them. The one thing, and why I'm excited about this upcoming event, Chris, is because we've obviously got so many changes coming in the market. And I think, to me, I think a lot of people are underprepared. I think they're not ready for what's about to come. I think that, quite honestly, I think we've been fed a lot of unicorns and pixie dust about how things are going to work out and that everything's going to be just fine. But one of the things I see is that, now is a time for agents to begin to pivot and make that shift in their business and what they're doing. And one of the things that, obviously, with leads, but what type of leads now, right? Everybody's been working on buyer leads. They pay for a lot of buyer leads, that type of stuff. I think listings, this is where, I moved my business to this 10 years ago. I think this is the direction that we all needed to go, is start to look more towards listings. And so we'll talk about that during the event, is not only how to get your leads and where those leads are coming from, but how to get listing leads and how to find those listing leads, right? And especially in luxury, because that's the other thing that I think is that I think there's going to be, even let's say, a 30% decrease in commission revenue to us. How do we offset that, right? We're going to offset through luxury. So in meeting with a lot of your clients, what are you hearing from them, and how do you direct them to move more towards listings versus just working with buyers?
Absolutely. I think that it's a really good point. And so a lot of people should be scared. The average agent should be scared of the changes that are coming, but I think that this could be a good thing for the agent who's prepared, the listing driven agent, right? The agent who has a strong pipeline, the person who's speaking to enough people, and the person who's prepared for what can come down the road. Mm-hmm. One thing that we've been seeing in our market over the last year, 18 months, is just that the overall volume is coming down a little bit. It's taking a little bit longer, and therefore we need to have more conversations up front to give it time for people to become prepared later on. And so regarding how are we going to generate more listing leads, there's a lot of ways we're going to talk about, specifically speaking to more people on the listing side. We're going to talk about that during our meeting, but I completely agree that there are agents that this is going to be a very bad thing for, and agents that aren't prepared, that we need to start shifting the business now more towards listings.
Absolutely. And then one of the things I want to talk about and touch on that, people are probably wondering what I mean by leverage. Leverage for me, it means a team, right? So I started building a team 5 years ago because I knew, quite frankly, one, I couldn't handle the amount of business that I was bringing on. And two, I wanted to grow my business, right? And I couldn't do it all on my own. So one of the other things I want to touch on during this meeting, and we'll go over it with everyone when they're there, but is also how to leverage your business. Not just meaning that, basically being able to scale your business up, right? So utilizing a team either way, if you're a team lead or you're a top producer, building a team so that you can leverage off of those other agents. Or if you're a newer agent or you're looking to crack into luxury or you're looking to crack into listings, is leveraging off of a team to grow your own business and your own name. What are some of the great ways that you've seen some of your clients leverage a team?
Absolutely. So a lot of things can come back to that 80-20 rule. So if you spend 80% of your time speaking to people.
Mm-hmm.
80% of your time lead generating, following up, working to get these deals towards an escrow, then you are going to be far more successful. Now, a lot of people go into different stages in their career, but most successful agents had some point in their career where they spent 80% of their time speaking to people. And so how do you create leverage? Well, you get rid of a lot of those things you don't need to do. Signs, lock boxes, responding to offers, formally, doing addendums, things like that. Get rid of that. Get that
Marketing,
off your plate.
creating their flyer, spending a half hour creating their flyer, right?
All of it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it anymore. Get someone else to do it, because what is the highest and best use of your time? What is the dollar value of your time? Is every activity that you do worth that time? Imagine if you got rid of some of those lower dollar value things, then what would the dollar value of your time really become? And that's what leverage is.
Absolutely. And then, guys, we're going to wrap that all up with touching on luxury, because that's the one thing, as I've opened my own brokerage, as I've had agents come to the team, the biggest thing that people are looking for is like, man, obviously I think it came from years ago with $1 Million Listing and all those different shows that got people really excited about luxury. Because when I entered into luxury 15 years ago, people thought I was absolutely nuts, because they're like, Darin, you're going to do like 12 transactions a year, which actually sounded exciting to me. I'm like, great. I don't want to do 12 a month. I want to do 12 a year and do $60 million, right? So that's one of the things I'm going to touch on also, is that we're going to how do you tap into that luxury market? For the agents that are trying to go out there today that have never been in luxury and they're trying to go get those $5 million listings, that's not realistic. And so how do you get started in luxury? I'm going to share that during our event about how agents can get into that. And then I think it's going to help with also by increasing that price point, right? And working those underserved areas of luxury, which I'll share with you guys during the event, what those underserved areas are. I think this is how people can really leverage their business, right? Leverage the support around them, identify key areas of where they can really focus in on that luxury and increase their average price point, so that at the end of the day, they're not having to work twice as hard to get to do the same amount of business in the future. They can really maybe even work less than what they're working now and accomplish much more in terms of commission revenue than what they're doing now. So,
agreed. I think that repeatable procedures can create projectable outcomes.
I love it.
And so if you're going to think of what is it that I need to be doing every single day, every single week, then we can project what the final outcome is going to be. And once you know your systems up front, then we can create a schedule for the week, and then everything becomes a lot easier. You don't have to work as hard if you have good, solid leverage.
Exactly. All right, guys. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to be pushing this out. We're going to be sharing. Make sure you look in the comments here, or in the comments in the subtitles, that we're going to be sharing the date and time of this event. So it's coming up. Our power lunch is on a Tuesday. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we hope to see you all there.
Me too. Thank you.